Hi, welcome to the Offside podcast. I'm Josh.
I'm John, and we got week 3 picks today. Now, I'm kind of annoyed after last week. I'm down a game. I hate you, Josh, and I hate the Saints. I hate the Saints. The Saints are what
Hey,
screwed me,
that Raiders pick was a good pick for me.
dude. I can't doubt the Raiders. I even said the Raiders are gonna be better than what they thought. What everyone thinks.
Yep,
Like
you
they've
did.
been having great drafts. All right, this week we are doing Thursday nights because we this time we actually thought I had to record before the game.
Yeah, we're getting it out on time.
And because we already have our tiebreaker game with missing one game, so Thursday night game is Dolphins Jags. I don't think it'll be that bad of a game because I mean they're low teams, but we both took the Jags here, um, and I think
Hey,
for
the
good
Jags
reason.
look good.
They are because I mean Minshew, they literally have nothing, and Minshew is really good, and I think he's proved it. Just the issue is
Yep.
I feel like if did have one more receiver other than Chark, they would be elite, and if they did have a real running back,
I
like
don't know about elite, but they would be better. I
yeah.
mean, shoot, they beat the Colts and then they take the Titans within three.
hmm Which I mean,
Now I don't know.
they should have won. They only lost because of a tipped interception.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
and then Vinatieri
Um,
also missed more field goals, but somehow got the game winner 2 weeks in a row for the Titans. So Vinatieri's lucky.
yeah, yeah. Hey, they're a good team.
Yeah,
They're not great. They're a
mm.
good team.
Yeah, they're good.
So,
South is up in the air. I can't. Our predictions for the South was just so wrong.
hmm,
We're never.
yeah.
I said Texans. I
Um,
don't think they're gonna win it.
well, I
Nah.
still stand by my Colts
hmm
and that one,
Yeah, that's a
but
maybe. Yeah.
but but this is promising for the Jags.
hmm
They don't have a whole ton of pieces yet. But the fact that they're already making this much noise, um, this early on with this is promising.
hmm
Um, yeah, they could use with another receiving weapon. James Robinson looked good.
Yeah, he did.
Again, so that's a good start there. The Dolphins just don't have enough.
hmm
They're not.
Fitz will throw
Again,
three interceptions, in my opinion. He'll throw 3 interceptions, and it's Thursday night. I don't think a short week is gonna help Fitz at all.
no. Well, if usually those veteran quarterbacks are the ones that can go ahead
Mm,
and turn around a short week. Um,
I just
I
think
just
Fitz is too old for this man. Like he's.
yeah.
I do agree. Like he had a better game against the Bills. They looked better. They held the Bills
Mhm,
close for most of the game. But
yep.
I don't think they can keep it up this week.
No, this Jag team has a lot of like swag.
hmm
They're coming in,
Everyone's doubting them. They
feeling
lost
good,
everyone.
whatever.
Yeah, they lost everyone.
Hmm.
Everyone's good. It's a shock, really. It's a shock. They honestly should be 2-0 in my opinion.
Yeah,
Mhm. All right,
yeah. So
the next game, possibly one of the most embarrassing ways I've ever witnessed a team lose. Falcons play the Bears, and somehow one of the most embarrassing ways for the Bears to win a game, this season. Um, I'm going Bears. You're going Falcons. I think this is like a
yep.
really hard decision because I mean I don't think Bears are that bad with defense
Hmm.
wise, but their offense ain't good. The Falcons' offense is good, but their defense is horrendous. Like they gave
Yeah.
up how many unanswered points? They were up like 29 something.
29-10.
hmm
So not completely unanswered, but basically Dallas went on a 30 to
Whatever, 30 to like
10
yep,
run. I think it was 30 to 10.
yep.
That's embarrassing.
No. The onside kick was embarrassing.
Um,
Like, where are they
oh my
thinking? Because it's
god.
a lot.
Oh my
Because
god.
I think the players thinking,
It's
oh, it has to
live
go.
as soon as it kicked for the
Yeah.
receiving team.
So like, even if it doesn't go 10 yards, Falcons can pick it up. What were they? They
Hmm.
could still pick it up. It's a live
They
ball to
weren't
them.
thinking.
It's a
They
live
weren't
ball to
thinking.
them. It makes no. They were thinking, oh, it's not gonna hit 10 yards. Literally at the last second, I love how it
Yep.
turns. Like
Yep.
who's the kicker? It's not Dan Bailey for them. It's Zerline. Zerline was
Yep.
great with that kick. That was a
Right the
fantastic
leg.
kick, and it literally at the last second curls in, and the Cowboys are right there because the Falcons are like, oh, it's not gonna go 10 yards. I don't have to pick it up. Like it's the
Yep.
dumbest thing.
Which is silly because regardless, you get a penalty. Okay, you
hmm
didn't get the ball. You're gonna get it about the same spot if you to recover it after 5 yards.
Yeah.
It just kind of seems
No,
foolish not to go
It
and
wouldn't
grab
have been
that.
it wouldn't have been a penalty. Or you're saying if it
Well,
went out, if it went out.
if it wouldn't have gone 10 yards, it
But the
would have been a penalty, I
no,
believe.
no, the Falcons picked it up
Or
before it went 10 yards. There's no penalty.
No, yeah. I'm
Yeah.
just saying if the ball itself would not have
Yeah, yeah,
gone
yeah,
10
yeah,
yards, even
yeah.
with no one picking it up, But see, we do have to remember this. So the Falcons still did put up 39 points
Yeah, but they choked
on
again.
the Cowboys defense. Yeah, sure they choked again, but the Bears barely beat a really bad Lions team and barely beat a Saquon-less Giants team.
I mean, to be
This
fair, the
Falcons
Giants
team,
Giants don't even need Saquon to like still will have Saquon on their team and lose games. That's what they do.
yeah, but the Falcons team is on a different, echelon than those two teams are two of the worst teams in
This
the
is
NFL.
this is my risk pick of the week because I need a risk
I
pick,
don't even
honestly.
think it's that risky though. I
Eh.
don't even think it's that risky. I don't blame you for picking
Mhm,
Chicago. I just think Atlanta's too high powered of an offense, and they're
mhm.
going to tear that Bears secondary to shreds.
All right, next game. Uh, Bills Rams. I went with the Bills here because I think they're just so hot, even though they weren't that great.
Mhm.
I think they're just way more complete and better than the Rams. I still think the Rams are gonna crumble and not do well this year.
Well, they're 2-0. They're
Yeah.
looking good. It's a different energy.
Hmm.
I talked about this last week. If there's one team, if okay, I shouldn't say there was one team, but there's a few teams that I think that can contain Josh Allen,
Hmm.
and this is one of those teams that might have the pieces to be able to do it.
Hmm.
Um,
With Aaron Donald on the line on the D line.
yep, and Michael
Hmm.
Brockers.
Brockers. No one
Those are
knows his
two guys.
name. It's crazy. Michael Brockers is actually like insane. No one knows
He's
his name
really well when
because
you're on
He has Aaron Donald next to him. Yeah.
exactly when
Yeah.
you're on a defensive line with Aaron Donald, and same thing with
And he's
Houston. They've had some
Brockers
really
has
good
been on
guys
the
there. No one
hasn't Brockers been on the team
Rams.
longer? He's been on the Rams longer.
No, I don't think
I
so.
thought he was with them when he
I,
was there in St.
actually,
Louis.
well, I actually, yeah, you're right. You're
Yeah.
right.
It's crazy.
Um,
No one knows him, and he has like I think he's like decent stats every year. It's crazy. He's like I think better than McLendon and the Jets and everything. Like he's like so underrated, so under the radar. But what else do you have to
yeah,
say?
it's good second fiddle guy. I think they're going to contain.
Hmm.
It's going to be a close game. This is a tough game for
Hmm.
sure. Um, Golf looked better last game.
Yeah, I agree.
Um, so that's a good plus. Malcolm Brown, hey, he looked good. Um, another, um, another positive there. Um, Close game
They
for
beat
sure.
up an
This is
injured.
tough.
The issue I have is they beat up an already injured and like broken Eagles team, and so that's my
Yeah.
only issue to picking them. And also, Bills are 2-point favorites going in that game.
Okay, that's
Yep.
fine. I mean, like we said, it's gonna be a close game, no
Yep.
doubt. I don't know. I like the momentum that the Rams
Yeah.
have.
I just think the Bills are too
Even
tough for them.
though I'm very high on the Bills,
Yeah.
not the Bills aren't gonna go 16-0 near
Yeah.
the
No, they
Rams. I
won't.
just think this is one of those ones that the Rams are gonna squeak out.
Hmm.
Just so well. Buffalo hasn't played the best of teams either,
Yeah.
so we don't truly know how good they are.
Uh huh.
So
Let's
yeah,
see.
that's
All
why I
right.
say the Rams.
Washington Browns. Now, I think it made it clear has no offense. Browns at
Oh.
least look good. Like yes, they were playing a bad Bengals team, but they looked good. And like I feel like if they are that team that we saw on Thursday night,
Hmm.
they'll be a good contender in the North. They will. If they're like that team
Yeah.
we saw that night. Baker had a good game,
Well,
just one bad interception, which literally was a garbage time interception. Like it's I think they look good. And I have no expectations for this Washington offense to get anything past them because they weren't even that good against the Cardinals defense. The Cardinals defense isn't that great either.
oh God. Well, that Cardinals offense tore Washington
Yeah.
apart.
I
And
mean,
now,
they
granted,
stopped
a
him a
lot of
bit.
that was Kyler,
Yeah.
and Baker Mayfield's not Kyler,
Yep.
but that that backfield of Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb, very lethal.
Yep.
And Washington's good, no doubt, but I think the things that the Browns can do with those two out of the backfield
Mhm.
is just going to tear up the other two
Yep.
levels of Washington. And their offense isn't going to be able to keep up.
Yep. I agree. Next game. Unless you have anything else to add.
No,
No.
no,
Okay.
good on that
Next
one.
game. Possibly like also something very disappointing for my picks last week. For both of us, we picked them. We both picked them. The Vikings got killed, and Kirk Cousins looked terrible. Titans Vikings. We both took the Titans. I think it's just a clear winner. I put the Vikings too high for this year. I thought the Vikings were gonna be so much better.
Yep.
They've looked
Yep.
like against the Packers. You could say their offense still looked good. They looked good against the Packers. Their defense
Second
looked
half.
terrible. Second half they did, yeah, and they came back and like they at least had a shot.
Well,
They tried to have a shot, but no, they were never catching Aaron Rodgers. Then next
Colts
week,
defense
yeah, the Colts
is
finally
much
showed up.
better. The Colts defense is much better than the Packers defense.
Yeah, the
I don't know
Colts
why
showed
I
up
chose
last week.
Minnesota last week, because the whole week I thought I chose Indianapolis
Mhm.
because I thought Indianapolis was a better team.
No, we
Kirk Cousins
both picked
usually
me.
has one or two games a week or
A
a year that he absolutely craps the bed of like 112 yards and like 3 picks.
Yep.
That was one of them. This isn't going to happen again. But again, that Minnesota defense isn't great. And Jonathan Taylor ran all over Minnesota last week. And I think Derrick Henry is going to have a field day.
Yep, he's
going to 150 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yep, I think
is my prediction. Which means, I'm sorry, Derrick Henry, the people that have Derrick Henry on their team, because I called that, he's probably going to go for 56 yards. And
it's like my curse. It's my curse. Ever since my first fantasy year in 7th grade, I won my first ever fantasy league with all my friends. I won it. Since then, my number 1 draft pick every year has torn their ACL. So Saquon tearing his ACL is my fault.
Yep. So this will be my fault when he puts up a dud. No, I really think Tennessee is going to have this pretty hand. They're well equipped to beat Minnesota. And I think you're going to see that.
Unless we see Kirk Cousins actually throw the ball to Adam Thielen, which please do that because I need to win my fantasy games. Raiders Patriots, possibly now the most anticipated game. Raiders Patriots. Raiders look good.
No, it's not the most anticipated.
I think it is. I think it is now because the Raiders are 2-0.
No, outside of the Monday game.
Fine, yeah, fine.
Yeah.
I'm taking Patriots. You took Patriots as well.
Yep, both took. I think they're gonna bounce back.
They should have thrown it. They should have thrown it. They should have thrown the ball.
Yeah. There was a missed assignment there.
Yeah.
And that's why was it Irvin that had the tackle? That's why he was able to get through. There's a missed assignment. I think that assignment gets picked up, and you're looking at a Patriots victory.
Yep.
But
Patriots.
New England took Seattle, arguably the best team in the NFL, all the way down to the last play. That's huge.
Yep.
Hey,
it just shows Cam Newton's still good. Cam Newton is still good.
He's making us look. Hey,
exactly.
We put him in MVP category.
Yeah.
He's playing like an MVP.
Did we put him in? I thought we put him in second. Okay,
no,
I gotta look back on
MVP.
that. But he's good. Like I don't get why people ever doubted him. He was good. It's just the Panthers started to get sucking, and they didn't build around him well anymore.
Yep, and he was injured.
Yep. All right.
He's healthy. This is gonna be a good game, though.
Yep.
Bill is one of the best defensive minds in the game, and I think you're gonna see he's gonna be able to contain Josh Jacobs this week.
Yeah, I agree. Next up is even though with many injuries, 49ers Giants, I'm still taking 49ers. We saw what Nick Mullins can do in the past. Nick Mullins I think is good, and Giants lost Saquon. They really don't look good at all.
No.
I think it's a safe pick for us to pick 49ers each. Anything you want to put on that?
Yeah. San Francisco was going to struggle.
Yeah. Oh, they lost Bosa too. They lost a bunch of.
Bosa's out for the season.
They're also playing in Meadowlands again. They're staying in New York. They're playing in Meadowlands again. So the stadium.
They're gonna hate. They're gonna hate that. They're going to.
Apparently the turf is terrible. Apparently the turf is awful. Yeah. Everyone's complaining about the turf, which it's the Meadowlands. The Meadowlands is the worst stadium in the NFL. But
who tweeted that out? Someone tweeted
I forget.
Out that said, hey, NFL, make them fix their turf.
Yeah,
this shit is terrible.
I remember seeing that tweet. I can't remember who.
I think it was Eric Armstead.
Maybe.
Eric. Armstead, I think, was the one that tweeted it out. But I mean, they lost Bosa, Kittle, Mostert, Jimmy G. Well, Kittle's kind of been up in the air.
Kittle was the week before, but still.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then they lost. Was a tackle or a guard? One of the.
I thought they lost 2 offensive, but still, also they came in and beat the Jets. They still beat the Jets.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're gonna do the same with New York.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be a tough season for San Francisco. It's not even at this point. It's not even Super Bowl hangover. It's
Yeah.
battle of the injuries.
All right. Next game. Bengals Eagles. You took the Bengals. I took the Eagles. Bengals don't have anything for Burrow. It's just Burrow. Like
Mm.
we saw Tyler
Give me
Boyd.
Burrow against
Tyler
that
Boyd dropped
Phillies
an
defense.
easy touchdown pass in that Thursday night game, and his receivers were just so bad. His defense was terrible. The O line kept collapsing. I can actually see this team going 0-16, but Burrow still winning Rookie of the Year. I think that
Hey,
actually
it's
is possible.
possible.
I think that is literally the most possible scenario for the Bengals because they have their O line is terrible. They really don't help them with anything. AJ Green is past his prime. Like Tyler Boyd is okay, but even then he looked terrible in that Browns game where he dropped it so many open
Mixon
passes.
wasn't great.
It's just
But
it's
here's the thing.
they're so lucky
Rec-
Burrow is good. They're so lucky Burrow is good, and I'm glad to see him play well.
Receivers are very up and down.
Yeah.
And so if they have a bad week, you'll look to see them bounce back. Philly's banged up. Philly does not look good.
I just think they're not gonna. I just don't
Um,
think they're that bad enough to lose to possibly the worst or second worst team in the NFL.
Cincinnati's not the worst. They're second worst.
Yeah, I know.
But let me ask you this. Okay, Cincinnati took the Chargers to within 3 points.
Yeah, but the Chargers
And
offense.
they took.
But the Chargers had
Hey,
Tyrod
hold
Taylor
on.
at quarterback.
Yeah, but the Chargers also took only held the Chiefs to 23 points.
Yeah, but that's also because.
Hear me out. They then go on to face Cincinnati and take them within one possession. Philadelphia is nowhere near nowhere near Cleveland or LA Chargers.
Remember that LA Chargers offense for the Bengals game had Tyrod Taylor in it, and Tyler Taylor wasn't that great in that game. Then you bring in Herbert, and Herbert played fantastic and looked like a real quarterback.
But that defense,
that defense still held. That defense still held them to 10 points. They still struggled.
13.
13 points. No, 10. No, didn't score finish 13-10.
No, 16-13.
16-13. Okay, it's a 3-point game because because Brandy Bullock is so bad. But 16-13. But it's hard to talk about like that way when you have Herbert come in who played so much better on offense and than Tyrod Taylor.
Philly's struggling, and Carson Wentz does not look good.
Yeah.
And I get the Cincinnati defense is probably bottom 5. But they can get takeaways, and Wentz has thrown some very ill-advised passes.
I just feel like Brandon Graham, Fletcher Cox are just gonna get to him so fast. Malik Jackson, dude, this D line for them is gonna murder Burrow. They have no line.
Why haven't they done that the first 2 weeks though?
Well, remember because they were actually decent O lines. Against the Rams,
not a decent line.
Fine. At least against the Rams, but they were leading against the Eagles against the Washington, but then they blew it because they choked. But then against the Rams, they at least were able to get something, and it was a decent O line there. Now you're going against. You can't argue that the Bengals have the worst O line in the NFL. Like that is not a question. It is a fact. Like they have the worst.
Them in Miami.
Them in Miami too, yeah. But I think they have the worst O line because you saw it in that Browns game.
Browns do have a good D line. But anyways, all right. So I have Cincinnati. You have Philly.
Yep.
So
Next one.
I think that's enough about that game.
Next up, Steelers Texans. I say Texans go 0-3. Very simple. Like I really seriously still think that DeAndre Hopkins killed their offense and their defense looks terrible.
I told you that defense is not going to be good.
Yeah, you were right. I was wrong. 33-16 to the Ravens last week. It was just not. It was not fun. Deshaun, why did you sign that deal, man? You should have.
Pittsburgh quarterback's not going to say. No one's going to say no to $40 million a year.
But
now he only signed 4 years. He can get his money and then go somewhere good after that.
Yep. But the issue, what I'm thinking is, wait, was the deal after or before the DeAndre Hopkins trade? It was after, right?
After. Yep.
I wouldn't have signed it. They just trade away your best receiver that you worked well with, went to college with. You traded. He's gone now, and you don't have your number one receiver is Will Fuller, who isn't that great, and Brandon Cooks, who yes he could be good sometimes, but has not shown up this year. I'm not signing that deal. especially when your coach
Right.
is on the hot seat right now. Because Bill O'Brien is on the hot seat if they go 0-3, and I think
Well,
he actually is still on the hot seat right now.
I will say this. I think they'll take a step forward.
Mhm.
But um, the Steelers haven't looked great, but they've played sound football.
They've
And so
controlled their games.
exactly.
Yeah.
They haven't had to destroy anyone. They haven't looked Super
Well,
Bowl-esque,
I'd say
but
you look at their scores don't reflect their games because they were
that's
crushing,
true.
they were
That's
taking
true.
over the Giants. The Giants did not look good, and then the
Mhm.
Broncos were just always being held at bay. Just Jeff Driscoll did decent for them, did decent for the
That
Broncos.
that Steelers defense is going to hold the
Yeah.
Texans to very low points.
Mhm.
Um, so
We good?
yeah, I think Steelers pretty safe pick here.
All right. Possibly my nightmare, Colts Jets. It's the Colts. I don't even want to talk more about this. It's the Colts are gonna win. Like I don't care. I'm gonna
Jonathan
watch. I'm gonna watch a game. I don't care. I'm gonna cry, no matter what. Colts win. You took Colts as well.
Jonathan Taylor stepped up. He looked good last week. You know, they didn't miss Marlon Mack too much.
33-13. That's gonna be the final score line.
They're gonna do the same thing. They're gonna run all over the Jets.
Yeah, I know.
I'm sorry to say this.
Yeah, I know.
They don't need Phillip Rivers to throw 40 times for 400 yards.
Yep.
Throw 20 something times. Don't throw. You know, don't turn the ball over. Run the ball. You know.
My existence
And
is
another
pain.
thing, the the Jets tend to struggle against teams that like to use tight ends.
Yep. Well,
And
we don't
that's
use
the
tight ends.
Colts and
Well, we don't use tight
no,
ends.
but defensively,
I don't know.
you
What I'm
guys
saying
aren't
is,
good against.
I don't know, but what I'm
Yeah,
saying
you
is,
guys.
it's weird. We're bad against other teams' tight ends, but we don't use them ourselves because they don't.
Mhm.
Adam Gase does not believe in a tight end. He doesn't. It's so stupid. I can't stand the dude. I am so shocked he wasn't fired after that game. I am still in disbelief. He's still the coach
You know
of the
why?
team because
Tank
he's
for
an
Trevor and then get his ass out.
yeah, offensive guru, isn't he?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
I'm
just like Matt
I
Patricia's
can't talk about this
defensive
game.
guru.
I can't talk about this game order. Panthers Chargers. I think possibly not to be mean to the dude, but Tyrod going down with that issue might have saved the Chargers season in a sense where if even though they lost that game, Herbert looked good and
Herbert
Herbert
did look good.
yeah. And do you think the Giants right now are kicking themselves because they decided to draft Daniel Jones instead of
Well,
waiting the
that
year
was
for Herbert?
last year,
No, but what I'm
and
saying, yeah, they
was
could have
it?
waited
Yeah, yeah.
another
Oh,
year.
I
They
see
could
what
have. That's what I'm
I
saying
see
is they
what
could
you're
have
saying.
waited another year because he was the year before their number one guy. He was the guy they
Yep.
wanted. Now you look at Daniel
Mm-hmm.
Jones now, who's still making the same mistakes, who doesn't look that great. My dad is a Giants fan. He's losing all faith in him already because he really doesn't look good. He doesn't. I'm sorry, but he doesn't. Even though he's young, it's the second year. He's
Well,
not the
I
best.
will say this.
Well, you have Herbert now, who's in
Look,
his first year, who's probably had a great game, better than any game that Daniel Jones has had so far.
look what Daniel Jones has around him, and then look what Justin Herbert has
hmm
around him.
hmm
And so that definitely
Well,
is
no,
the
no, no.
big helper.
You had Saquon Barkley. You had Evan Ingram, who's pretty good as well. You have Sterling Shepard, is not bad. Darius Slane ain't that bad. They're
But
not bad players. Like if he had Saquon again for the whole
look at that
last year.
line.
That
Look
line
at
is
that.
bad.
Look
I
at that.
will agree.
Oh,
That line is bad.
that line is terrible on
Yeah,
New York. New York is terrible, and Los Angeles has a decent line.
yeah,
Eckler's not terrible. Obviously, he's not Saquon.
yeah.
But Mike Williams and Keenan Allen are better than Slayton
But
and
I would
and
say that
Shepard.
his O line doesn't excuse some of the insanely bad mistakes he's made.
When
It's like
you don't have time to throw the
that
ball,
is.
you tend to make more
Mm,
mistakes.
I
So,
we both took Chargers here because I think like
yep,
Panthers. I mean, I like the Panthers, but Matt Rule, like I mean, it's gonna struggle for him to start.
it's gonna
The
take.
defense
And he
still
doesn't
doesn't
have a
look good.
great team.
The defense doesn't look that good. The offense is okay. I mean, the offense,
Yeah,
even though it wasn't great last week, they looked good week one. I still think the offense will be fine. It's gonna take a bit for him. Like
oh
I
yeah,
thought they're gonna be. I think I said 7-9. I mean,
yeah. This
six
is
and 10, something fair like that. Like I
you
mean,
said 7 and 9.
yeah, 7-9. Like I mean,
I remember.
I still think they could say go 7-9. I think it's still possible. But
Yeah,
it's
not with McCaffrey out.
oh yeah, McCaffrey's out too now. But we both took Chargers in this.
Yeah, pretty
Um,
pretty straightforward.
Bucks Broncos. If Drew Lock wasn't hurt, I would have taken the Broncos in this, but I have to take the Bucks now because just
Why? Why?
I just think because I think Drew Lock's just a better quarterback, and I think it would have been or in Cortland Sutton. They don't have Cortland Sutton either because like
You
they don't have three of their best players anymore. Because let's if all three of those players, Von Miller, Cortland Sutton, and Drew Lock, this game was going to be close. But now since they're all three are gone, they're going to get crushed.
mm, yeah, bring it close, but I think a lot of it is how much you still don't think Tom Brady can do it. But
No. I think
Tom
he had a
Tom
good game last
Brady
week.
had
Yes.
3 touchdowns dropped last week. Now I think one of those drives they ended up scoring anyways.
Yeah.
Tom Brady, once he finally gets in groove with his offense, it's gonna be just about lights out.
But for that division though, they're not gonna. I think they're gonna get wild card. They're gonna get wild card, but I don't think
But
they're gonna win that
yeah,
division.
no
Yeah.
doubt, no doubt. But that team is still good. They're still a 10-win
They'll
team.
be a good. Cause I mean,
Um,
their defense was already good enough already. Their defense was good because
yeah, their defense
Todd
isn't bad.
Bowles is a defensive mastermind.
Yep.
And like no one, he's a great defensive coach, not a great head coach. But and the defense had Shaquille
Vic,
Barrett, who literally came out of nowhere and won the sack title. Um, is they still the defense still be good? The offense, I'm still gonna be sketchy about the offense because they played Panthers last week. Panthers are not that good on defense. The Panthers don't have Luke Kuechly anymore or any of their leaders anymore. Like they're not that great of a defense. But I mean, they did play
no,
well.
but
They
the
played well
offense
last week.
still looked better. They're
Yeah,
more in
they
sync,
did. The offense did look better. I'll agree. The offense did
and
look
they're
better.
only going to go up. They're only going to go up
All
from
right.
there.
I don't know.
They'll
I'm
think what they did in week 2, and it's gonna.
yeah. Now they're playing a team that also doesn't have any more defense really because they don't have Von Miller now, or they don't have an offense either.
And
So I think
Bouye is out.
Bouye's out and everything. It's was set up for them to go 2-1 now. All right, next one. I think we're both good on that. Your pain. Cardinals Lions. We both took the Cardinals. I just think it's an easy answer, honestly. I don't know about you.
This Lions defense is God. They're bad. They're bad against the pass too, but they are so bad against the run.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been shown that the best teams have at least an average or better offensive line, which the Lions do. They put up some points, and then an average or better defensive line.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing: you can have a good secondary, but if you have to cover for 6+ seconds, the quarterback receivers are going to go open and the quarterback is going to find them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you can have a bad secondary, but a good defensive line. If the quarterback only has 2-3 seconds to throw, you can be like a very meh, secondary and still be able to lock it up for 2 to 3 seconds. And see, that's the thing. The Lions are so bad up front. They just don't have good bodies.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have a good pass rush. They're terrible against the run. As you saw, Aaron Jones just absolutely destroyed them. And Kyler Murray's going to do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be run free without anything to worry about. I wouldn't doubt if he put up 100 yards on the ground, 300 through the air. Because, again, Lions without Trufant, Okuda, they were without Coleman. Okuda struggled. And that's scary. Coleman's not a number one guy per se, so I think both receivers are gonna beat their matchups for the Cardinals.
Yep.
It's at this point. This here's what's gonna happen. Lions are gonna go 0-4 into the bye, and then it's a question of do we tank for Trevor, kind of a deal.
They're not going to tank for Trevor. I don't think they're going to tank for Trevor. They're going to draft a defensive player and old lineman. Because that's what they do. They're not going to tank for Trevor with Stafford still there.
Yeah, but see, there's the thing. You can, while he's still in his prime,
That's true.
Stafford,
You could bring
get a first round or something, tank for Trevor. What? But anyways, that's not the point of this one. Arizona. This is actually honestly my safest pick for this week.
Yeah, no, it's mine too.
Last year, Arizona was down big in week 1, I think it was week 1, and came back to tie it against the Lions, and that was
Yep.
Kyler Murray's first game.
Yep.
Kyler Murray, as I told you when we were ranking quarterbacks, it's a very good quarterback and to watch out for him.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to have so much fun against this defense because this defense is even worse than last year, in my opinion. I feel pretty safe saying they're going to score 35 points or more.
No,
Arizona.
I was thinking 45-10 scored line, to be honest. I was thinking crush DeAndre Hopkins breaks the receiving yards record in a game.
300 yards.
Yeah, like 300 yards or something. Who knows?
Well, Green Bay put up 42 or 43 against the Lions. Arizona's going to put up something very similar.
Yep. All right. Next game, Seahawks Cowboys. Seahawks won at the 1-yard line. Cowboys won because the Falcons choked. But I think still the Seahawks are the better team because Russell Wilson is the MVP #1 right now.
Yeah. No. Yep. Hey, word for word out of my mouth right there.
He's. I mean, I still think someone else can win it, but right now, if I had to pick right now who it is, it's Russell Wilson. He's.
Hey, I agree with that.
I don't think though they are the best team because their defense hasn't been too great the first 2 weeks.
No, but definitely been some growing pains.
Yeah. They got Jamal Adams and everything. Like, it hasn't been the best. It really hasn't. They allowed how many points?
Their defensive line isn't the greatest. It's average.
Yeah, they allowed 30 points against the Patriots, and they allowed how many points? Where is it? I can't find the game.
Against the Falcons.
25 against the Falcons. Yeah, and it was a close game throughout the most time of that Falcons game.
What did we say though when we were talking about teams? We said that if DK Metcalf takes a step forward,
and which he has, thank God for my fantasy team.
Oh, big time! That catapults Seattle into potential Super Bowl status.
Because now they have a guy to replace Doug Baldwin because Doug Baldwin's no longer in the NFL, and he's now their
1-2 punch with receivers.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Because it used to be Doug Baldwin and Tyler Lockett, or whoever, Tyler Lockett, Paul Richardson, whoever was the second guy. Now it's Tyler Lockett moves to that 1, and DK Metcalf, who I believe is actually
Tyler
better.
Lockett was the one beforehand, but yeah. DK now moves in that number 2 spot.
Yeah, number 2. I'm saying that possibly DK Metcalf is that true number 1. I think DK can be better and will be better than Tyler Lockett.
Oh, higher ceiling for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Dallas. So you got to commend Dallas for coming back and beating Atlanta, but at the same time, for Dallas to go down that big against Atlanta,
yeah, it doesn't look good.
Concerns.
Yeah, I mean, Dak Prescott still is a great quarterback. I still think he's really good. He's still one of the best quarterbacks out there. But he does not have help on the defensive side. The defensive side doesn't have Sean Lee. It doesn't have any of their big guys anymore. They lost Leighton Vander Esch. Like, it's not that Cowboys defense we've known for a while. Sean Lee's still on the team, right? Or no? I'm being stupid. I think he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he is.
Yep. Chidobe Awuzie.
Yeah, it's
out a few weeks.
Yep. Sean Lee, I believe.
Trayvon Diggs is in question.
I know that's
Cowboys have had some injuries. Some guys step out.
Yeah, Sean Lee's out till mid-October.
Yeah. So
I think then Leighton Vander Esch, I believe, is out as well for a bit. But I mean, I think this is another safe pick, Seahawks, unless barring some crazy onside kick.
I think it's close. I really do think
I don't think
this
it's
is going to be close. It's going to take some time for Mike McCarthy to grow into that team, but I think you're going to see another stride forward here. I think this game within 5 points, 6 points.
I think
within one possession.
I'm gonna say 20. I'm saying 27-13. So maybe I'm saying within 15 points.
Okay, within 2 scores.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All right. Another big game, because for some reason this week is a bunch of big games between big teams. Packers Saints. It's like this is a week where we're starting to see a bunch of teams that might play again in the playoffs. And so Packers Saints, I mean, possible wild card weekend matchup, maybe, because who knows, or maybe second round matchup, something like that.
They're both gonna win their division.
Yeah. So second round matchup possibly. I'm only going Packers. We're both going Packers. I'm only going Packers because I think they're more set. I think that Monday night game for the Saints is gonna hurt them. because they choked it really in the second half. Like, they really didn't. Emmanuel Sanders was nowhere to be found. He dropped 3 passes, and I know that because I had him on my fantasy team, and I lost by 50 points because of him. Um, I feel like it's gonna hurt them a lot with even the Raiders defense isn't the best, and I feel like
Mm.
them not even being able to get past it in the second half is a huge issue.
Well, that was Drew Brees' first game
Yeah.
without Michael Thomas in a
Yep.
while,
Yep.
and you could tell
Mhm.
he struggled. He said he had a bad game. He's feeling better,
But like the first
but
week of the
but
first week of the season, he didn't use Michael Thomas. That's a thing.
yeah, I think he had what, like 6 receptions
No,
for
Michael Thomas had like
80 something yards.
three receptions and like
Well, it
Michael.
wasn't that low, was it?
It was.
Oh,
Let me see. Let me see. Let me go back to the. No, you keep talking about this. Well, I'm gonna go. I'll go find the stats for you real quick. Because Emmanuel Sanders had most points for them.
Michael
Saints.
Thomas, 3 receptions for 17 yards. Wow. Yeah, but
Yeah.
still having that guy frees up other guys for Drew Brees. But I'm for Green Bay as well. And what did I say when we were talking about teams?
Hmm.
Another year under Matt LaFleur or Aaron Rodgers will be good for him.
Yeah.
And this offense is going to take a step forward. Now, granted, they played the Lions last week, and week 1 they had the Vikings. They scored 43 and 42. That's a very potent offense.
Hmm.
Aaron Rodgers is looking very good.
Hmm.
A guy that can
Again,
contend for MVP.
I think there's
What
four
what
good
what did
candidates.
I say? He is just about God tier quarterback, one of
Yeah.
the most talented
Yeah.
quarterbacks the NFL has ever seen. Um, this is gonna be a close game. High scoring, both teams in the 30s.
Hmm.
But again, Drew Brees did not look good last week, and without Michael
Yeah.
Thomas, he's gonna struggle again.
But the only
While
issue I'm having with that is. Oh no, sorry. Keep going.
Emmanuel Sanders is decent, but like he's
Yeah.
not a number 1 receiver anymore.
Yeah, he's too old. Even though
Um,
I'm trusting him to be that number 1 receiver, please.
Green Bay, I think it's gonna be within 1 score, but I think they're
Hmm.
gonna have a hold of the game.
Hmm.
Um,
I do think this
I
might be a crushing. I do think it might be a 2-score game at least.
You think Green Bay is gonna smack
Yes,
the living
I'm
daylights out
thinking
of
the
them?
last 3 games we just talked about, they're all gonna be smacks. They're all gonna be like 2-score plus games.
Hmm.
Because I see him as like more one-sided than some people would think. Oh, the
Yeah,
Cardinals make sense.
I'm one of those
The
people, I
Cardinals
think.
make sense. The Cardinals make sense, like that
Yeah,
one.
for sure.
But I just feel like once Packers get it going, because they did it against the Vikings and the Lions, like I feel like they're gonna
Yep,
get to that 40-point threshold again.
they can put up points
Yep,
fast.
yep, exactly.
Mm.
Um,
Well, I will say this though: this New Orleans defense is better than the other two.
mhm,
So you're gonna see a little bit dip in points, and they're not gonna be able to control it as easily.
mhm.
Um, but that offense just looks good. And New Orleans didn't look good last week.
All right, final game of the week, the biggest game everyone's hoping up for this year, possibly a AFC Championship preview: Chiefs Ravens. Now, Josh, I chose Chiefs, you chose the Ravens. Here, I'm not sure if you saw this stat. The Chiefs are 7-0 when Patrick Mahomes is at quarterback and they're trailing by 10 in the second half. They're 7-0.
Wow.
It's
Okay.
amazing what that record is. Like, I mean, because we saw it this week. I feel like the Ravens will go ahead in the beginning, but then Chiefs fourth quarter, late third quarter comeback will come and take the lead and end it there. Maybe even go to overtime and see Bucker kick another 63-yard field goal or something like that.
Mhm.
Because
You
they,
know,
you saw the reports, he hit
last
like a 70-yard field goal in the pregame warmups. He hits 70s all the time.
last week, he hit 3 game winners.
Yep,
So
all
he
from
had the first one
yep
that was flagged at 53. Then the next one that was a timeout, but he still hit it at 58, and then he hit the game winner.
at 58. And
Yep.
like his leg didn't tire. It's crazy how he did
Yeah.
that. And it's like he is I think he is the best kicker right now because Justin Tucker has fallen off a bit.
Yeah.
Bucker is the best kicker right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I,
But this isn't a game of kicking.
I know, I
Here's what
know.
I will say: the Kansas City offense. The reason why they're so good is they have speed.
Yep.
Yes. But even when they are down and they're trying to come back and they're passing, the ability of the backs to make an impact out of the backfield,
Mhm.
whether it be running or catching passes, is heightened.
Yep.
Okay. And we saw with last week that the Chargers were able to control that a little bit more
Yep.
and they kept it closer game.
Mhm.
But the thing is, Baltimore has a much more potent offense than the
Mhm.
Chargers,
Mhm.
and they have a better defense. And I think they're going to be able to control that Kansas City run game, which in turn is going to be able allow them to be able to control the pass game a bit more.
Mhm.
Um, I actually think this is a 2-score game in Baltimore's favor. Something about it tells me Kansas City comes out a little flat.
Yeah.
They aren't able to make it up. Baltimore wins like
My
33-23,
my issue
something
with
like that.
Baltimore is Lamar Jackson's big time games. He doesn't really show up as well. Yes, last year he did, but then his last few streaks of big time games, he did not. Excuse me, he did not look
I,
good. Like Tennessee,
I,
he
I
looked.
think I think I think that I think that changes. I
That
do.
changes. Okay.
I think this year he takes that hump. He had enough experience to say, okay, I failed. This is a guy that wants to succeed. He absolutely wants to prove every doubter wrong.
Mhm.
And I
Well,
think
to be fair, he already did that winning the MVP in my opinion. He already did that.
yeah, no doubt, but he wants to take it the next
Yeah,
step further.
he's got to win a Super
And
Bowl.
I think this one he's gonna say, hey, get out of my way. This is my game. This is my league. Yada, yada. Now, come playoff time, I think Kansas City figures out a way to beat them.
Mhm.
But I think Baltimore, this game, beats them to try and make a statement to everyone else. Their defenses look good, too. And I think they're going to be able to kind of, I don't want to say run all over Kansas City, but I think they'll be able to get it done with the legs against Kansas City.
All right. Well, this week we only have 4 differences, so I can come back and take the lead. You're up by 1 game over me. Um,
Mm.
yeah. Any other words for us?
This is a game of a lot of good teams playing good
Yep.
teams,
And
or
bad
what we
teams
think to
playing
be good
bad.
teams playing good teams, and bad teams playing bad teams.
Yep.
So all around, I think
It's
this is a good
it's
good
that
week of
week in the
football.
NFL where we'll have some of the most entertaining games. Like last week, we had the most injury-prone games because we always have that week once a year
Yep.
where everyone gets hurt. This
Mhm.
week now is gonna be the most entertaining one, even though we're missing a lot of stars. So that's it from
Um,
us. I think.
this
What else do you have?
this this will be the week that we see who's for real and who just kind of had a good first few weeks.
Yep.
So I'm excited to see it.
What's your bold prediction for the week if you had one?
Mm. Bold prediction for the week. I would say Baltimore winning by 2 scores,
Mhm.
or two possessions against
Okay.
Kansas City would be bold. But if we're going real bold, I think we see our first coach fired this week.
Yep. Adam Gase.
Um,
Jets lose. I'm gonna say it. Jets
and
lose by
no,
30. Adam Gase gets
nope,
fired.
nope, nope. Minnesota. After they
God
go
damn
0-3,
it,
I think you see
Zimmer.
Zimmer. I
I
think
don't
you
think
see Zimmer gone.
I could see that.
That's hey, I don't think that's gonna happen, but it's my bold prediction
Yeah. No,
because
I
this
agree.
Minnesota team is too good to be going 0-3, and I
Yep.
think
Mine
that's
is
my bold
Jets
prediction
lose
here.
by 40. Jets lose by 40. Adam Gase gets fired. I want hope. That's it. All right. That's it from us.
All right, thanks for listening, guys. Again, feel free to drop a comment. Let us know what kind of videos you want to see. Sub, tell your friends, tell your mom, tell your parents.
Tell your
Hey,
dog.
shoot, if you want to put it on for your dog and let him listen, that's cool too. No judgment here of who our listeners are, but thanks again, guys.
Peace.
And we hope you enjoy the games this week. Peace.